This video is intended to be an in-depth description of a light blade ring named Transcendence. It's a very heavy, high-yield Blu-ray 5th chakra concentrated device in a ring format. It basically is a very functional power pack, but on a slightly patinaed copper platform that can be worn on a finger. The main facing of this device, underneath these pieces, actually is a Lemurian quartz that is set in the copper ring. On top of the Lemurian quartz is blue lace agate, which is very excellent for stabilizing the 5th chakra, in tandem with sapphire, which is a corundum, a very strong blue ray stone that stimulates the 5th and 6th chakras in tandem with the stabilization once again to perpetuate a very intensified, stabilized 5th chakra projection, which would be idyllic for any kind of counseling modalities of any kind of wise, higher self spiritual wisdom to be on tap for the conscious self wielder of this device. These two little guys right here are tanzanite. Tanzanite in the mineral kingdom is perhaps the most effective heart-mind coherence linker, stimulating the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th non-physical chakra for a lovely cyclical frequency stimulation of the heart-mind coherence, as well as obviously with those kind of intensified parameters for one's heart speaking to the truth, as well as all the intellectual brilliance the mind can conjecture in tandem with that kind of circuit to be able to be impeccable in one's word, in theory. At least that's the intention of this device. This blade band right here consists of tourmalated quartz, which is actually clear quartz with black tourmaline inside the matrix, which makes a very powerful purification subcapacitor for this entire sequence. So the quartz, of course, works as a neutral programmable carrier of this energy in the circuit, in tandem with the black tourmaline, making a very lovely grounding energy into the earth meridian matrix for reprocessing. So the ignition sequence for the first band goes like so: tourmalated quartz, aquamarine, which is a beryl, which is actually a cousin to emerald in the same crystalline family, but of extremely potent blue ray. That has a very lovely water elemental stimulation of the 4th and 5th to speak from the heart. Then swapping into the lovely, amazing turquoise, which is the embodiment of earth, fire, water, and wind through the 5th ray focus. So very much a stone of wholeness and speaking one's absolute soul truth into manifestation. Hence, it's a great ancient grandfather ally of First Nation tribes, and perhaps most commonly metaphysically utilized stone of the First Nation shamans, for example, for this purpose, as well as it being prized due to its wholeness, spiritual connotations, as well as being a very lovely way to open the full spectrum of the elements for a product generation of physical energy as well. Tourmalated quartz once again, then going into lapis lazuli, a stone of wind element that has a lovely stimulation to the 5th and 6th chakras, and is a very prominent stone for past life recall, as well as any kind of insights, and is very stimulating to the psychic centers of the prefrontal lobes, or the 6th chakra, aka third eye. Then moving into this part of the sequence is tourmalated quartz once again, then blue hemimorphite. Hemimorphite is a very powerful light body activation stone that has a strong stimulation to the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, higher light body frequency resonance. It's impeccable for also any kind of mediumship, and with the blue ray focus in tandem with all these other frequencies makes a very lovely pathway of the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th once again to have a very strong mediumship capacity of one's true high soul wisdom to be registering the conscious self, and then to speak that truth in counsel to assist all those under the wielder's jurisdiction. And once again, of course, it just continues the sequence of the same exact frequency described there. Then right here is a transmutation band, right here, consisting of selenite in bead format, and selenite is lovely to purify any kind of densities in the auric field, as well as have a strong stimulation to the 6th, 7th, and non-physical chakras for a key to the higher self grounding through the physical template of the operating system. And also, in more practical application to a closed-loop circuit, it'll take this entire frequency running through the circuit, it will amplify, harmonize, and purify the entire resonance particularly in sequence engagement with hematite, to ground all the stray radial energies through the base into the Earth stars, triangulated into the Earth Meridian matrix for reprocessing. Just like the smoke quartz being a very powerful purification and another arcing grounding stone to ensure that the transmutation of energy around the field while this is in play has a proper arcing protection around the emanations of the field and grounded into the Earth Meridian matrix for reprocessing. So that current continues like so. So technically it's a dual blade band light blade ring, which is pretty exotic. Obviously this kind of construct is not very comfortable for daily wear. It's more of a ritualistic power tool, if you would. Because probably putting that and trying to get it in your pockets may be a little tedious. Just for the disclaimer's sake of this video. And right here is Amazonite. Amazonite is a feldspar-based water elemental 4th and 5th stimulator to speak one's truth through a very deep resonance way that has a very strong, deeper frequency current to perpetuate that, once again, 4th, 5th stimulation in complement to the entire frequency broadcast. And down right here is the lovely Larimar. Larimar is a lovely stone of both fire and water elements that has been more recently discovered in this timeline of around 1882 from one place in the Dominican Republic, born of volcanic activity. Yet has a very, very beautiful blue stone and has gained quite a bit of notoriety in metaphysical usages in this current timeline. And it has a lovely stimulation of the 5th and 6th, and a very oasis of calm, higher truth energy of the goddess is one way to really put Larimar. So naturally, with all these other Blu-ray configurations, it's a perfect complementary frequency cousin to all this Blu-ray concentration on a ring. So that would be the entire crystalline composition. So in summary, the entire design would make a very powerful activation of the higher 4 centers in tandem through the ignition order of the focus heavily being the 5th ray impeccability to be in the highest soul wisdom, and in theory, with this kind of frequency compatibility with one's higher self template, also be able to consciously understand higher spiritual truths and effortlessly channel and flow through the 5th to whoever is being in recipients of the counsel of the wielder of this device. So very much a stone of impeccable truth is a summary of this device in a lot of ways, of really being an impeccable 5th chakra over-the-top wearable power pack. And to further imbue that aspect with some pretty cosmic spiritual truth, to put it lightly, is the application of this amazing oil received from my friend who has access from a family in Luxor, Egypt, who distills this oil in the old ways, who are virtually the shaman medicine of this modern era in Egypt, based on their old mystery school rendition training that actually they use the old ways of a barn animal and a giant mortar and pestle to grind these essential oils. He showed me photo evidence, which is pretty amazing. Then these oils, before they actually make it to Jim's custody, which he lives in Buffalo, New York, they end up getting blessed in a ritual inside the Pyramid of Giza, inside the king's chamber, inside the sarcophagi, with the man speaking in other tongues, something along the lines of intending enlightenment of this oil being distributed into the world for consciousness, which is pretty extraordinary by itself. And so the reason these oils come up is because the utilization of both these oils were actually intrinsic in this ring's construction. So the first application is the lovely Blue Lotus, a stone of ancient Egyptian mystery school ritual that was very powerful for its higher spiritual resonance application, in particularly initiates undergoing the trials to the ascended Jed, as they called them. And in tandem is the most amazing, authentic red rose oil I've ever utilized on the center of this. So the Blue Lotus is mostly around the rim inside the bead. So it's basically the Blue Lotus is kind of on the wire that is conducting the frequency circle, while the rose has been more embedded on the blade face itself. So that's kind of a fun little segue that adds a little bit of intensely mystical flair to this little construct. And that concludes the description of this intensively Blu-ray focused powerful device that could be worn on a finger technically, yet as I digress, it is rather bulky, but it's not for looks. It's really more for function opposed to form, but that's the summary of this entire Transcendence Ring device. 1,000 blessings, and have a great day, anybody watching this.